Saudi Arabia, though, enters trade alliance with China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and four Central Asian nations. Saudi Arabia has entered a trade alliance with China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and four Central Asian nations. Moreover, the development arrives after news of the first yuan settled energy trade, further lessening international reliance on the US dollar. Specifically, CNBC reported that Saudi Arabia's cabinet has approved a recent memorandum that takes steps toward joining the China led security bloc. Additionally, the report notes that the move strengthens Riyadh's Eastern ties in a further step away from U.S. interests. This is pretty difficult because one of the big things that propped up the US dollar was obviously its use in purchasing oil from Saudi Arabia and kind of that trade of military power and protection with Saudi Arabia in exchange for them only accepting the US dollar. A move like this is basically further weakening the US dollar. And that doesn't come at a great time when we're seeing record high inflation rates, right? The past few weeks have highlighted the growing concern over the US and de-dollarization. Moreover, as the budding banking crisis continues and various macroeconomic circumstances abound, along the debt ceiling remaining a concern, international trade is seeking other avenues outside of the US dollar. Now, following news of the first yuan settled trade agreement, these steps have become clearly pronounced. Specifically, Saudi Arabia has taken notable steps towards joining a trade alliance with China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and four Central Asian nations. The Saudi cabinet approved a memorandum that awarded Riyadh the status, I'm saying that wrong, sorry, the status of dialogue partner in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, according to CNBC. Subsequently, the joint coordination is a political and security trade alliance that is led by China. The decision to join the SCO reported, quote, falls short of full membership, end quote, but continues expanding their interests towards the east. Conversely, the decision follows a deal made in March for both Saudi Arabia and Iran to, quote, resume diplomatic relations and reopen embassies in each other's countries. I've been talking about BRICS for quite some time. I talked about it coming in to basically try to destabilize the dollar. And if we take a look at things that have been happening in the recent past to destabilize the dollar further, including but not limited to, of course, the shutdowns and the I don't know. Where do we go from there?
Established in 2017, Octominer is an international mining hardware company. They manufacture and engineer the best mining equipment in the industry and supply rigs to some of the largest mining farms around the world. Their GPU mining rigs also integrate with the top crypto operating systems like HiveOS, MinerStat, and Simple Mining. All parts come with an international 1-year warranty. Exciting news! They will be adding ASIC miners for sale to their website soon and launching a new product built specifically for ASIC home miners. Please visit octominer.com or email support@octominer.com for questions.
The shutdowns, which obviously spurred on the inflation, which has in turn increased the amount of dollars in circulation, which has in turn decreased the value of the dollar, which is being propped up, of course, by energy, right? And this is something that the software talks about that I've been trying to get everybody to go read that book so that everybody understands what I'm talking about when I refer to this, but like it really is all just about energy. And you can have a completely peaceful collapse of a nation if it fails to accept or capitalize really or move fast enough into new technologies, right? We talked about Constantinople example with the cannons and the collapse a year later when they refused to, do cannons. They collapsed and lost due to the cannons, basically being used against them when they didn't have any cannons. And it's there could be a potential destabilization of the US dollar based on the anti-crypto stance of a lot of people within the current US government. Because at this point, Bitcoin does become this unattackable store of value that can be used to strengthen a country's position financially, right, and economically. And to completely ignore that and not foster that innovation will put you in a poor position at the end of the day, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And I think China's starting to see this as well, because Chinese banks court crypto firms in Hong Kong after mainland banned. Hong Kong, crypto firms coming from Hong Kong, crypto firms rushing into Hong Kong after the city opened its doors to the battered sector are finding a surprising source of potential support: China's state-owned banks. Chinese banks have been directly reaching out to crypto businesses over the past few months, adding to signs that the city's push to become a major digital asset center has backing from Beijing, even though the trading of crypto has been banned on the mainland for well over a year. Ban it from who? The citizens, right? But it's clear that they see that there's power within cryptocurrency, because what are they running to, right? And if you wanted to have any sort of indication of where things are headed, I would say this is a pretty good indication. The Hong Kong arms of Bank and Communications, Bank of China and Shanghai Pudong Development Bank, if I said that correctly, have either started offering banking services to local crypto firms or have made inquiries, according to people with knowledge of the matter. On at least one occasion, sales representatives from one Chinese bank even visited the office of a crypto company to pitch its services, said one person. So, as opposed to what's happening in the West, where we see basically this concerted effort to close down and stop crypto participation with US banks, right? Now we're seeing Chinese banks go in and try to start participating within cryptocurrency. So it's two very opposite interactions happening here. The olive branch is notable as the sector has been shunned by major banks and faced difficulties in securing normal banking services, such as opening an account to pay staff and vendors. It is also an opportune time, with the lenders filling a void after the failures of U.S. tech banks Silicon Valley Bank, Silvergate Capital, and Signature Bank. The push by Chinese lenders means a lot to us because it's something you'd never expect at this point, even around the globe, said Mr. Sung-Min Cho, founder and chief executive of Beable, a provider of a messaging system for decentralized applications. And I mean, it is sort of shocking, right? But it's kind of the perfect setup if you want to prevent, individuals within the country from participating in it, because you can maintain control with your own centralized digital currency, right? The central bank digital currencies. And then at the same time, still be playing the game. This really isn't dissimilar from China's strategy in general over the past decades, right? It's like China as a country sort of participates in capitalism, but not with the actual citizens that they govern, right? So it's like it's always been kind of also playing an unfair game. It's like the capital of a nation versus the capital of individual countries in the West. Obviously, which one's going to win out there? And this strategy that they're utilizing with Bitcoin actually falls completely in line with the same strategy they used in relation to capitalism. So it's not really surprising to me. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. You can check out the full episode here or more crypto content down here. Also, I'd like you to check out my locals page at sonofatech.locals.com, where you can become a member for free or choose to be a $5 a month supporter that unlocks additional content.